Biden pronounces new $1 billion in guns for Ukraine. Kyiv seeks extra heavy fingers. Washington President Joe Biden on Wednesday announced a fresh U.S. infusion of $1 billion in guns for Ukraine that includes anti-ship rocket systems, artillery rockets, howitzers and ammunition. In a telephone call with Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, Biden stated he told the embattled chief about the brand new weaponry. The United States is presenting every other $1 billion in protection help for Ukraine, inclusive of additional artillery and coastal defense weapons, as well as ammunition for the artillery and superior rocket structures, Biden said in a statement after the 41-minute name. The president also introduced an extra $225 million in humanitarian help to assist human beings in Ukraine, inclusive of by supplying safe consuming water, vital clinical substances and healthcare, meals, refuge, and cash for households to purchase important objects. The modern-day weapons programs for Ukraine include 18 howitzers, 36,000 rounds of ammunition for them, Harpoon coastal defense structures, artillery rockets, secure radios, hundreds of night imaginative and prescient gadgets and funding for education, the Pentagon stated. In Kyiv, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said he had talked to Secretary of State Antony Blinken to thank him for the important military help from the USA. I emphasized that we urgently need more heavy guns introduced extra often, he said on Twitter. NYSE, TWTR. The resource applications, which come as U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is assembly with allies in Brussels, were split into classes, switch of excess protection articles from U.S. shares and other weapons being funded through the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, USAI, a separate congressionally legal software. Russia's UN ambassador Vasily Nebenzia on Wednesday accused Western international locations of preventing a proxy struggle with Russia, telling newshounds, I would really like to say to the Western countries presenting weaponry to Ukraine, the blood of civilians is on your fingers. Ukraine is urgent America and other Western countries for quick deliveries of weapons inside the face of multiplied stress from Russian forces in the Jap Donbass location. Oleksandra Ustinova, a member of the Ukrainian parliament, told journalists at an event organized by using the German Marshall Fund, we need all these weapons to be focused in a moment to defeat the Russians, no longer simply keep coming every 2 or 3 weeks. In May, the Biden management announced a plan to present Ukraine M142 high-mobility artillery rocket systems after receiving assurances from Kyiv that it'd no longer use them to hit targets interior Russian territory. Biden imposed the condition to try to keep away from escalating the Ukraine conflict. The rocket artillery on this resource package would have the equal variety as preceding U.S. rocket shipments and is funded using Presidential Drawdown Authority, or PDA, wherein the president can authorize the switch of articles and services from U.S. stocks without congressional approval in response to an emergency, said a supply who spoke on circumstance of anonymity. For the first time, America is sending ground-based Harpoon launchers. In May, said the U.S. changed into working on ability solutions that covered pulling a launcher off of a U.S. deliver to help offer Harpoon missile release capability to Ukraine. Harpoons made by way of Boeing NYSE, BA, co-fee about $1.5 million in line with missile, in step with experts and industry executives.